sending right now. Somebody's open. Well, you have to be able to spread out so you can see those players and, just take care of the ball. Georgetown's been, relentless in trying to come up with those second chance opportunities and the checks. Just be, a little bit more careful, but, work the ball around.
Well, Gavin able to surge inside, earns the call, and a free position chance coming up. And this is what you do sometimes when you need big plays. You ride your star. And right now, Gavin trying to deliver from the 8-meter line.
That's, as an attacker, you want to start drawing fouls. And the way you can do that is by going to goal. People are going to play more aggressively on you.
Gavin, in traffic, can only just send it behind. Georgetown shut down that alley in a hurry. In front, quick stick chance for Hager. Formby saved. And almost a giveaway it is. Loyola's got it back. Low shot, missed the net. Backed up, back in front. Hager puts it home. Frenetic sequence leads to a huge goal for Loyola.
We've seen both these teams struggle a bit on the clears and the turnovers, but Loyola, they were relentless there. Eyes were on the prize, that ball following after. Great final finish by Hager. Formby comes up with the big save. Just again, Loyola's second chance opportunities. This is what you need on your attacking end to make sure that you get a lot of opportunities when you've got a good defense, because they're going to put the pressure on you, and if you just send the ball back the other way, that's going to be a problem.
Gavin gets credit for the assist. Multiple helpers in the game for her. And Hager comes through with a goal, her 15th. 7 different Greyhound players have scored in this game. So super balance for Jen Adams and company. But they need more, down 1 with under 14 left. This will be controlled by Loyola as the Greyhounds break out of that scoring front. Jen Adams talked about being so close this season. 4 one-goal losses for Loyola. And now a breakaway chance. Hager behind the defense. Shoots and scores. We're tied again.
For Hager, that whistle could not come soon enough. She was wide open there. That's an extremely tough shot for Formby to make. For Formby to stop, excuse me, but Hager waiting patiently and an excellent job of finishing. Comes off the foul there from Gavin, and then just look at Hager, just beautiful, running straight to goal, gives herself a bit more of an angle, and then runs off to the side, which again will force Formby to shift her position a bit. And just fantastic finish, but that is just something, as attacker, you dream of those when you finally have a 1v1 opportunity. Normally it's so hard to penetrate when you've got that 7v7 offensive sets. That's just something Loyola really capitalized on, and a nice quick pass by Gavin.
Well, the foul there in that quick succession off the draw. Hager was by herself when the foul was called, able to catch that pass and score her second goal in 26 seconds, and it's 8 apiece. Gavin with another assist, 3 now in the game.
And 2 quick goals like that also can really be a momentum shift for a team. Loyola, it looked like they were just kind of struggling on all fronts, but you get 2 quick goals like that in nice succession, and you can things can start changing.
Georgetown looking to answer. Forward. Here. Cutting player as Thomas just missed. Nice set piece there. And the junior talking to the freshman, who did not miss by much. Kier. That's Dwyer. Out top. Inside. And the call against Loyola. They'll pull the Greyhounds out. Free position chance for Georgetown. Normally a strength. They have not been able to capitalize in this situation throughout. Have now. Buried by Thomas.
Sophia Thomas, a freshman, having an excellent day today. Beautiful finish. We saw just a few seconds ago she had a great shot on goal, went just wide. But they've now started to deliver on those free position shots. Beautiful center hash mark placement. And, you know, she just, Studhoff had already dropped down. And sometimes as a goalkeeper, you have to just make a, just make a decision of where you want to either stand tall and try to read that shot, or sometimes you drop low thinking they're going to automatically shoot low. You made a quick decision a little too fast, but Thomas read that and scored nicely in the high.
Thomas with a 2-goal game. Georgetown retakes the lead. Under 12 minutes to go. Each of these teams battling to advance to the Big East Championship round. Draw finally controlled by the person that scored the last goal. That's Thomas. Love it. Links up with Thomas. Sophia into the offensive end. To Kier on the edge. And Love it. Trying to work inside and shove back out. Inside. Seats had a look, sends it back out. And a duel near the restraining line. We'll see which way the call goes. And the official's going to confer here. And definitely contact and see if somebody stepped across the restraining line or not.
Looks like they're going push from the Loyola sideline, and then the feet go over. And if your feet go over, your stick can go over the restraining line, but your feet cannot.
And I'm not sure if there was a whistle before that happened or not.
There's no possession. I know, because there's no possession.
Looks like they're going to do a throw. Very similar to jump ball in basketball right here. Referee will throw it in the air.
And again,
see a held cross, held stick there, so Georgetown will now get possession.
Ashley Hunter has it. You look at the brackets again here in the Big East tournament. The winner of Georgetown Loyola faces the survivor between Syracuse and Notre Dame in the championship here of the CBS College Sports Network, Saturday at 1 Eastern.
The ball's in the air, you can grab it. Is that not the rule? The ball's in the air, you can grab it.
We'll see a goal circle violation. So Loyola, somebody's either stick or cross went into the crease area or their foot. Your stick can only go into the crease when you're shooting or defending a shot.
Well, Georgetown comes out of that with the ball in front, forward, low shot, bounces home. Been a series of streaks scoring-wise. 3 in a row gave Loyola the lead. Georgetown with 5 in a row to grab it back. Back-to-back goals for Loyola, and now 2 more in a row here for Georgetown, and Ford gets her second.
Just beautiful roll of the crease there by Ford. Bozell reads this perfectly. The double team goes to her, both defenders, but Ford was already making that move.
Bozell with the assist, and the Hoyas back in front by 2. And turning it around after trailing by a couple of goals at the break. And the Hoyas have the upper hand, and that's been a theme. You look at the start, 3 and 5, but they played arguably the toughest schedule in the nation against 4 top 10 teams in those first 8 games. And then they got it done in conference play, a perfect 8-0. And if you look at it, regardless of the outcome tonight, the Hoyas clearly have the best resume from any Big East team. So as much as they like to go in as the automatic qualifier, they know they're probably in with an at-large berth if they need it. That's not necessarily the case for Loyola. Jen Adams even thinks they definitely need to win tonight to have a shot.
You know, and I think she's right with that. I mean, it's a very competitive field out there. Then you have all the conferences with their automatic bids, a lot of play to be done this weekend. So a lot's, you know, kind of left up for grabs. So Loyola, I think, needs to win the tournament championship if they want to get in. And Georgetown, I think, is pretty safe. But, you know, we've talked about this in the past, how you want to be playing your best lacrosse in May. So they really want to win out because their ultimate goal is to win the national championship. And you got to be winning every game from, you know, here on out, making sure you're playing your best lacrosse with no mistakes. And also, you know, I think it's much better when you get that automatic bid. Then you can sit down in your team room or wherever you're watching the selection show, and then you're thinking about where are you going to play that game, who you're playing against, not are we getting in.
And again, this Loyola program on the rise again. Power program in the 80s and 90s. 7 trips to the NCAA semifinals in that stretch in a 14-year run. And Jen Adams trying to lead them back. They haven't been to the NCAA tournament since 2004, but she talked about this year with the close calls, handful of 1-goal losses. We're so close, you feel more confident, but until you get that breakthrough, you don't know if you can do it. And the opportunity for a breakthrough is here tonight, down 2 with under 10 left in the Big East semifinals.
See the referees here doing stick checks. They do 2 random stick checks per half. Make sure that all the sticks in the pocket are legal. If they were to find one that was illegal, a deep pocket where you can't see the ball above the stick head, then it would be a change of possession. So ultimately, you would forfeit the draw, essentially.
And the stick would be taken out of play as well. Draw, Gibson battling Bozell, and Gibson gets it. Another peek at our difference makers tonight. Gava, the Big East Attack Player of the Year. 4-point effort. Molly Ford has scored a couple of times. And so the top players are living up to their billing to this point. And flying on transition here is the speedy freshman Thomas. Poked away for the moment. Georgetown collects. And with this 2-goal margin, here in Georgetown, they can afford to spread the field here and work some clock.
I think it makes sense to just take a nice long possession, wait for things to open up for you.
Maybe not waiting that long. Love it. And space inside, just pulled the shot wide.
You know, at this point in the game, the defense of the team that's down is going to get anxious. So if you wait long enough, you know, work that ball around, they're going to get either tired or start to make mistakes, and then you can capitalize on them. So by no means do I think they should not be taking shots now. Still go to goal.
Ford went behind the back, couldn't put it on net. Well, the Georgetown attacker in the position where that was the best shot she had, and just simply couldn't get it on net. Studhoff coming out of the crease, eluded Ford, and Loyola trying to race ahead. And the lead feed too long, and McCraw is fouled by Gavin. Under 8 minutes left in this first Big East semifinal. Down to the wire for Georgetown and Loyola. What a rifle shot on the inside for Georgetown. A big maneuver for Kelsey Bozell, who put a bullet past Studhoff.
You know, the freshmen for Georgetown are coming up huge today. Lozelle did an excellent job up top, attacking, you know, just getting space. Just look at this, all this, the Loyola defenders are coming to double and triple team her, but she's able to get the room and get the shot off before they're able to collapse, sees the space, and just excellent finish there. And Studoff is so far out on that crease. If you can find the right angle and shoot high, again, you see Studoff, she's went low, dropped to her knees there. So a couple times she's been, you know, kind of anticipating the shot. However, they haven't gone low. If the shot went low, she's going to be able to smother it. But, you know, sometimes good goalies oftentimes make bets on where they think a shot's going to go.
Lozelle now 4 goals in her last 3 games, so she is really helping out in the scoring department at a critical time of the season for Georgetown.
I think the biggest issue for Georgetown in terms of the NCAA selection is they've done an excellent job in season, you know, perfect in their conference, but they don't have any of those unbelievable wins against your really top-ranked teams, like some of the other teams that have, you know, just locked up their fate. So early on in the season, it looked like Georgetown was going to have to, the only way they were getting in was to win the conference championship. And that has changed because they, you know, the second part of the season has been much better for them.
They're one of the hottest teams in the country at this point with 8 straight wins, and 9th in the coaches poll this week, but their RPI is 6, and certainly that's one of the factors that the selection committee will look at. And again, you can find out who's playing who, when and where this weekend here on the CBS College Sports Network, the Women's Lacrosse Selection Show, Sunday 10 Eastern here on the CBS College Sports Network. Good hustle and fight for it out to the restraining line. Hauled in by Hager, and Loyola trying to push. This is Gavin. Speeding down, pulls the trigger and scores. Grace Gavin not done yet for Loyola.
What a finish there, diving finish. You could tell she wanted to score, and she just went in with a head of steam. You know, her speed is very impressive. Ball was on the ground for quite a while. Loyola did a nice job finally controlling this, but just watch her just powerful moves, looking down, protecting her stick, seeing where her teammates are. No one was open, and she just able to just fire. That had a lot of heat on that ball.
Great look in that last replay at her vision as she was running down the field, eyeballing the defenders, whether or not she had any help offensively, and realizing finally, best option is me, and buries it. Jet Adams and her squad, they believe, under 6 left, down 2, huge draw control, and Gavin continues to pile up the points. And now the all-time leader in a single season in points in Loyola history with 87. 5 of those points in this game. Couple of goals and 3 assists. Big draw win, though, for Georgetown.
You know, now, as a Georgetown team on attack, you want to start taking care of the ball and have possessions. And, you know, under 6 minutes now, I think they start working around. You can score goals so quickly, as we've so often seen, that this Loyola team, they want to win. Their ticket to the NCAA tournament is to win this championship. Every win for them helps. They don't win this game, they're most likely staying at home. There's a lot on the line for them, and the best thing Georgetown can do is take the air out of the ball and just possess.
Now, a Loyola player going down in a heap. Not sure if she turned a knee or has a cramp. And that's Cara Philippi, a junior from Devon, PA. She was trying to track Ashby Kasner, and she's down in a heap right on the 8-meter arc. And here's a look at Filippelli right in the middle of your screen.
It looks, I hope it's a calf. There's so many knee injuries in women's lacrosse. It does look like Filippelli's holding her calf. Let's take a closer look here.
And you can see her screaming in pain clearly as she was trying to stay with Kasner, and just got down on the ground as soon as possible. And the officials quickly pulling the whistle, and you see trainer out to work on Filippelli, and she, and hopefully your thought is right, and that it may be only a cramp and that she will be able to continue. And she'll come off momentarily. at least after the stoppage, to a nice round of applause here from the folks at Rutgers.
It's hard to tell what was aching her. The best news is she's able to walk off that field by herself.
And they'll continue to work on that left leg and calf of Filippelli on the sideline. Loyola bench looking on. Do they have a couple more goals at least to extend this game? And Jen Adams watching her team right now. Possession is the goal for Loyola. And one of the top teams in the nation in causing turnovers. They need to come up with some thefts right now.
Watch for the double teams and still a very active keeper. Watch for her to come out and be an extra defender and leave that goal wide open.
And a possible turnover there. Loyola has it. Tracked down by Tara Gardner, senior from Severna Park. Here comes Loyola.
What a handle.
McCutcheon gives it up. Knocked away. Formby behind the net. Loyola keeps it alive.
Heads-up play there for Hunter on defense for the Hoyas, coming up with that check.
And now another steal for Georgetown. That's McCraw who's got it. Read the pass perfectly.
You know, McCraw's been all over the place. She was a midfielder last year, the move back to defense, really been a leader. Oh, back and forth.
Given away by the Hoyas. Not held on to in the foul against Loyola. Well, turnovers have been a big storyline here, and we've had a flurry of them here in the last 90 seconds.
Just great defensive plays and then sending it back in the opposite direction.
Over 40 turnovers combined between the teams, some of them unforced, but a lot of them due to the great defense. And now third yellow card of the game against Loyola.
And going to Grace Gavin, who is not who you want out of the field. That swipe, that slash is a dangerous move. It's an automatic card in women's lacrosse. You know, again, it's about safety. She's got to leave the field for 3 minutes.
You see the frustration on the face of Gavin. She's out. So the attack player of the year in the conference will miss the majority of the time remaining here in regulation with her team down 2 goals.
You know, and that really is about discipline. You know, I know at this point in the game you want the ball back in your stick, but you have to control those sticks, those swipes. We've seen the refs give a few yellow cards today for those exact slashes. You just need to control it. You know, you have to put yourself in a good defensive position and make that check. You can't do those wild swings.
Kaesner now sends it to O'Reilly. She'll roam in. And the opening was there towards the goal, but right now, possession is the priority for Georgetown as they continue to work more time off the clock.
You know, and they just need to remember that right now Loyola is a player down, so they can work the ball back to their defensive end of the field where an extra player is wide open. So if they get into trouble, they got to send it the other direction. You know, they don't need to keep it on one end of the field. No shot clock.
Well, Brophy was in a tight spot for a moment. Now back to Kaesner, and the keep away continues for the Hoyas. Loyola looking to get a double team out there. Now switching off personnel as they look to chase. Even the keeper Studhoff out, trying to get Georgetown into attacking, and she comes out again.
Very hard to run a stall successfully.
Foul there against Loyola. And it's been beautiful so far. Close to a minute and a half in this stall for Georgetown. Now a check to the head against Loyola. Georgetown keeping it. Ricky Freed. And the rest of his coaching staff looking on. Aaron Hellman, Richie Elders. Hoyas just continuing to elude the defense of Loyola.
Very tempting open goal, but I think a very smart possession for Georgetown. Loyola, what they want to do now is just to get the ball back in their stick. So whatever way they can do that, either with a defensive turnover or even if they shoot and score, at least they've got the opportunity to win a draw control. Now they're starting to use the backside of the field, really making that Loyola defense run around, very exhausting.
Steal Loyola. Hager comes up with it. But the Greyhounds give it right back. And that has been the bugaboo in this game for the Greyhounds. 20+ turnovers. And every time they've had the opportunity to make a push, they've coughed it back up. Timeout taken by Loyola with 53 seconds left to go.
A hard-fought game right here by both teams, just relentless defensive pressure from Loyola, and finally they're able to come up with that turnover by Hager. But on the other end, just a very heads-up play. Hunter coming up with that ground ball for Georgetown, so it doesn't get shot right back down their defensive end.
Ricky Freed talking with his squad. Don't forget, we've only just begun here at Rutgers. Second Big East semifinal between Notre Dame and Syracuse. Start 8:30 Eastern here on the CBS College Sports Network. Two more teams are trying to earn their way to the Big East final and enhance their NCAA resumes. And the winners will play on Saturday. Jen Adams and her squad needing to get the ball back. And again, you see the orange wristbands, headbands being worn in this game by players on both teams in honor of Yardley Love, the Virginia player who died earlier this week in a tragic situation in Virginia. A lot of players on these squads from the Baltimore area and grew up playing either with or against Yardley. That includes Molly Ford, Caitlin Formby, and some others on this squad that were high school teammates with her at Notre Dame Prep. A lot of these players will go to the viewing for Ford back in Maryland tomorrow, and some of them may opt to stay for the funeral services on Saturday. Ricky Freed has given them the option to do that. If they need to be there, he has told them, then they should feel free to be there, despite the fact that they're about 35 seconds away from having a game on Saturday, and that's the Big East Championship. We'll see how that plays out should the Hoyas hang on here, and it looks like they will. Well, great work by the Loyola defense in the first half, but Georgetown tightening up in the second half and getting enough goals to get it done. The Hoyas on to the Big East Tournament Final for the 4th year in a row. Question for Georgetown now, can they finally bring home the Big East Tournament title? We'll see on Saturday. A look at today's play of the game brought to you by Champion. And off the theft, Kelly Barnes setting up Jordy Keir in the fast break goal. The play of the game from Champion. She and great win for Georgetown.
Excellent win for Georgetown. They struggled early on, but what good teams can do is they can find ways to win. They made some adjustments. Ultimate team effort.
Great emotional win here for the Hoyas tonight in the Big East semifinals. Well, for she and Stanwyck Birch, our entire CBS College Sports Network crew, this is Jason Knapp. For scores, highlights, features, and more, go to CBSCollegeSports.com. This has been a presentation of the CBS College Sports Network. Don't forget, we've only just begun. Big East semifinal number 2 between Syracuse and Notre Dame comes your way at 8:30 Eastern. The winner of that will play Georgetown in the championship here Saturday. Syracuse and controlled. No, by nobody momentarily. The whistle there before somebody had it, but they will rule in favor of the Orange.
We have held cross right there. You know, typically with the draw, if it doesn't go in the air, there's going to be a scuffle for that on the ground. You cannot hold a stick, somebody else's stick down.
And the scramble for this, Jackie Doherty battling for it. It leads the Big East in ground balls and cause turnovers. First team all-conference performer, and she will be a focal point of this much improved Notre Dame defense. She had in years past, Notre Dame really a lot of times just outscored foes, and Syracuse for that matter as well, but both of these teams have been greatly enhanced in the defensive ends of the field. First offensive look here for the Orange. Jackie DePetris, senior from Radnor, PA, helping twirl it around. And now they'll start to send it behind. A lot of sores there. Michelle Tumalo, talented freshman out of Mullica Hill, New Jersey, has it. She'll work to the edge of the 8 and then give it up for Tegan Brown. National team player for Australia in the World Cup last summer. With 1 season of eligibility here at Syracuse and trying to make the most of it and help lead the Orange to a Big East title and get back to the NCAA tournament. And the winner of the Big East gets the automatic bid. Both of these teams in the hunt for an at-large selection. And certainly a loss wouldn't totally kill the hopes of either squad, but a win would enhance their resume that much more. You could almost look at it as a possible elimination game, but certainly with their RPIs both in the top 12 of the country, win or lose, they are going to merit strong consideration for an at-large bid if needed.
You know, definitely, you want to be playing your best lacrosse here in May, right before you head into the NCAA tournament. So obviously, you want to put your best foot forward here at the Big East tournament. And both these teams, you know, Notre Dame had a loss to Rutgers, their second to last game of the season, and then Syracuse coming off the loss to Georgetown last week. So a win today is very important.
And a free position chance here.
Because that foul was outside the 8-meter, still a free position opportunity, but you do not have to clear the 8-meter. You just clear that penalty lane.
Tegan Brown firing it low, and a stop made by the freshman Hilling. Now Hilling from Rochester, New York, has seen just about all the time in net this year for Notre Dame, and a big stop there on Brown. And the reason she's seen just about all the time, she's the only true goalkeeper on the roster. A defender, Kristen DeResperis, is the backup emergency keeper. She's only played 2 minutes just to give her an idea of what she'd be in for should she be called on in an emergency spot. For the most part, it's Hilling and nobody else in net.
It's got to be extremely tough, especially as a freshman coming into the Division I level. There's such a change from the high school level to the collegiate level, but she's done an excellent job in cage, has a great presence, and, you know, really been strong. And Tracy Coyne and the rest of the defense have so much faith in her. I did ask, you know, sometimes when you have an inexperienced, you know, goalie in net, it makes your defense play tougher because you're, you know, really working to help and trying to guard your goalie from getting a lot of those tough shots. And she said that may have helped, but, you know, Ellie is a great goalie. She's used to being the only goalkeeper, did the same thing in high school.
Tumalo, great elusive moves, bounce shot and a score. What a goal to start off this second Big East semifinal.
Speaking of freshmen, another fantastic freshman for Syracuse. Tumalo has some excellent moves. Look at all the space that her attack creates for her. And then just some dodge moves there. I'm sure Gary Gave has taught her some of that fancy stick work. And then excellent placement of that ball. And near post, Hilling is right on the post, but just gives her a couple inches of room. Fantastic placement of the shot, but really the stick moves and the ability to have freedom in there because her teammates cut through allowed her that extra space and time to get that shot off.
Well, Gary Gate looking on at one of the first, you know, big-time recruits that he brought into the fold here at Syracuse. Some of the personnel that he inherited from former coach Lisa Miller. And he's added to it with some quality recruits. And Tumalo, maybe the best that Gate has brought in out of Clearview Regional High School in New Jersey. And already now setting a freshman record for points on the year. 63 points in all. That's her 31st goal of the season. And the Orange have the lead and possession again off the draw. Now Hogan well out of the crease, and she'll wait here and walk it up and try to create some space and some opportunities. And we've seen over the years, including last weekend, she has the ability to fire some long-range passes right on the money.
She is a really good active goalkeeper that likes to come out. So if somebody comes and pressures her, she is more than happy to take them and then race it down to their offensive end. But her clearing is exceptional. You know, a really fantastic goalkeeper, and she has been since her freshman year.
How about that? It was a beautiful one-hop pass to Hallie Quillinan to start. And that clearing chance for Syracuse, and the Orange have it in the offensive zone. Here's Brown. Forced out of the 8 and kicks it back to Ladouceur. The T-track there defensively by Lauren Fenman. Ladouceur in front. Blocked in front. And the Irish come up with it and give it back to their keeper, Helling. Here's a look at the rebound and the save for Hilling in the CBS College Sports iBox.
Great placement. It looks like she made that on the pole of her stick.
They give credit to the freshman Hilling, her key stop, Shaylin Blaney. Irish send it behind. It's Sosha. Looking for help. And they wheel it around. Lost and then tracked down. Stewart collects for Notre Dame. And Blaney trying to bark out some directions to her teammate. Among the first team performers for the Irish in the conference this year. Maggie Thomasitis has a touch, and they'll put it back out front. Kayleen Apps looking for Thomasitis, but that was too tall for the sophomore behind, and a turnover Notre Dame.
Fortunate turnover there. That's we've talked about the boundary lines on a pass. You know, the ball goes out of bounds. It's a turnover, and you really just have to be careful when you're feeding the ball behind that you have a sharp, clean pass. Because if it goes too high, just an unfortunate offensive set when you don't get a shot off.
Yeah, shot attempts can be backed up by the team that pulled the trigger, but a bad pass out of bounds that'll cost you possession.
Both these teams have great fast-breaking attacks, and you know one of the keys for them defensively is to get in the hole and try to prevent fast-break opportunities on both sides.
Tumalo tried to zip in front again, but fired wide, and the race to the near side for it. It belongs to Syracuse. Here's another look at the shot.
You just see the hustle play. Whoever gets to the ball first, closest to where it goes out of bounds, will get that ball back. Irish will win that possession.
And check it. It is Notre Dame ball, and the Irish pushing to clear. Ahead for the speedy Blaney, but she can't control. That's gobbled up by the Orange. And Quillinan, who is one of the top performers in the team in ground balls, gobbles that up. And the Orange attack. Catherine Rodriguez moving in. Good work from the midfielder turned defender. As Syracuse had to replace Lindsey Rogers, a former Big East Defensive Player of the Year, when she went down with a knee injury in the loss to Northwestern. Rodriguez, one of the players seeing more time in a different position, and boy, earning all conference honors after making that move. Well, Syracuse has already done something it didn't do the last time it played Notre Dame, and that score in the first half.
unbelievable. You know, I mean, first of all, in lacrosse to have any scoreless half, but to have an attack like Syracuse limited to 0. You've got to give major credit to that Notre Dame defense.
Hilling able to collect off the turnover and trigger the restart. Caitlin Keena zipping into the offensive end. Keena was big against the Orange last year with a couple of goals and an assist. And she was lights out in the Big East final last year against Georgetown. Had a hat trick on the Hoyas' home turf as Notre Dame pulled in the Big East tournament title. Nearly 10 minutes in, Notre Dame is yet to score. Concerns here for the Irish as they look to get on the board?
You know, I don't think so. What's concerning is really the turnovers. They've just had their last 2 offensive sets and passed the ball out of bounds. And, you know, they're going to get the shot. They just need to clean it up. You know, these are just errors that you can't have. And they'll make adjustments, only down 1-0, so no time to panic. But we haven't seen the real leaders of the Irish attack get the ball. Shea Blaney, Gina Sosha, they need to be touching it. They need to be working it around.
Hogan there out of the crease, looking for assistance on the clear. And she'll waft the pass forward, hauled in by Dove. 4 turnovers now against Notre Dame, just 1 giveaway for Syracuse to this point. And the goal from Tumalo standing up right now. 1-0 lead for the Orange here in the second Big East semifinal. Now the Irish and the Orange renewing their rivalry here at Rutgers. Syracuse with the early edge.
It's a tough choice. Edward.
Gary Gate and the Orange talking strategy as it's set to resume this first half here from Ursack Field at Rutgers. Saturday here at 1 o'clock Eastern, it's the Big East Women's Lacrosse Championship from New Jersey. Automatic berth into the NCAA tournament on the line. Saturday at 1 on the CBS College Sports Network. But Gary Gate, you know, we talked to him in the past couple of weeks about his squad and this year and this shutout game against Notre Dame. And we touched on it before. Throughout his career, in everything that he's done, we said, have you ever been involved in a game and when you went to the locker room...
With those shots, you can't score. So they need to take better care of the ball. They're playing under the light, so sometimes, you know, the passes, if they get a bit high, you can lose it in the light. But really, when we've seen their turnovers, especially on the end line, the passes have been too high. So it's not the person catching it that's having trouble with it. It's an errant pass.
And again, this Irish team has been known for scoring in recent years. They had to replace Jillian Byers, one of the all-time point getters in NCAA history. They've gone through that, and certainly they have the firepower to do it, but they've gone into some funks at times this year. Twice they were held to 1 goal in opening halves against Rutgers and Dartmouth, and then shut out that second half against Syracuse. So they've had droughts at times, and now another giveaway for Notre Dame. Syracuse will have it again.
You know, and teams across the country have had to deal with huge losses in terms of offensive production. You look at, you know, Northwestern, you know, Hillary Bowen this year, Hannah Nielsen, and different role players have to step up and, you know, take that scoring load, and oftentimes it's spread between a few players. But for Notre Dame, a player like Jillian Byers, she had huge numbers. And, you know, it's really hard when she's kind of that game-changing performance. And if you're down or you're having trouble shooting, you know you can get the ball in her stick and she's going to be able to go to goal and score. And then she can kind of put the, you know, team on her back and get them back in the game. And, you know, they lost that. So it's a big readjustment for the rest of the attack to how they regroup.
Well, Sosha, the leading point getter this year. Blaney leads in goals with 36. And right now, the Irish would take one from anybody. Here for Syracuse, Brown denied. Hilling has been wonderful in the crease so far, and in denial mode again.
See Brown come in, just a low angle shot. You know, good job by it's Blaney right there, the defender, forcing her out.
And Hilling, the freshman, she comes out of her area, looking for help in the clear. 3 saves so far tonight, and coming in to Notre Dame, replacing the Big East Tournament most valuable player of last year, the great goalkeeper during her own career, and Erin Goodman.
Great clearing play for the Irish.
And set it up. Great look for Keena, but Hogan was there. Hogan had 16 stops a week ago here in the CBS College Sports Network against Georgetown, tying her career high. And really, she kept the Orange close in that game. Both keepers, Caitlin Formby of Georgetown in that contest, both of them were phenomenal. And a very well-played, entertaining game. And Hogan up to her old tricks tonight.
You know, she's just kind of that electrifying player that if she gets hot, you really are in trouble, the attackers are, because she just, feeds off that energy and just, it just keeps on building. She likes to come up with the big plays outside the cage, will run after the balls, can be an extra player on the field if you need it. We saw when they needed the ball back against Georgetown, she was lining up in the circle trying to get the draw control.
Here's Dove.
Nice isolation play for her. Just look at all the room she has to work and get through. She's going to get fouled on that and get an 8-meter.
Yeah, trying to use her size. Jackie Doherty pleading her case, but it looks like to no avail. Dove, Big East midfielder of the year for the second year in a row.
Check to the net. So let me heading into.
Check to the head is the call.
Looks like they have dual fouls on both teams.
Yep.
There'll be a throw.
Well, that's a break for the Irish. Syracuse thought it would have a great look from the 8. Off the throw after the matching foul. Syracuse has it. Brown feeding Dove, who finishes for Syracuse. Number 59 on the season for Christina Dove. 240 now in her career, number 1 all-time with the Orange.
Brown does a great job of dishing it to Dove. Dove's about 5'11", so she's a great target inside right on the crease. But look at that movement from Brown, and then just excellent quick stick. Doesn't even give Hilling a chance to react. Great placement.
Well, Dove broke the career mark held by Katie Rowan, now volunteer assistant with the Orange. And Syracuse, Gary Gate able to replace one dynamic scorer with another. And Dove elevated to that number 1 role. Certainly she's had great numbers over the years with the Orange, and now the active leader in goals and points in the NCAA, and you understand what she's meant to the program with 240 markers for the Cuse. Setting up for the draw. Now Blaney won it. An apt move from that spot adjacent to her on the edge of the circle. And it went right to that area. And it's controlled by the Orange. Tough break. Looked like Blaney won it right to the area she wanted to, but nobody was there.
Yeah, and that's a problem. I mean, it really, when you're as center taking that draw control, it is especially. A lot of it's skill, a lot of it's luck. Right now, Syracuse has won 3 draw controls, so that's huge in terms of possessions. And, you can win into the space you want, but you got to have players there to get it. So, there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle to make the draw controls work. You got to experiment. But typically, when you're looking at the stat sheet at the end of the game, whoever has the most draw controls often ends up being the person that has the most points on the board.
Dove right down Broadway, stopped in front, rebound. Hilling able to keep it out. The Orange attackers said, hey, it was over the line, but the officials right on top of it, and Hilling keeps it at a 2-goal deficit for the Irish.
Sometimes the good thing of playing on grass that the ball won't be able to roll as much.
Off the turnover, Ladassour behind the defense, zooming in and scores. T. Ladassour makes it 3-0. Fresh off a 7-point outing, including 4 goals in her regular season finale, T. Ladassour surging in to get her first here in the Big East semis.
You want to enjoy drinks and chips when you watch TV, but you can't balance it all on your lap or knee. Now, there's Couch Coaster, the first ever portable snacking station. Sit back and watch TV with your favorite drink, snack, remote, and phone, all right by your side. Share some hot buttered popcorn on movie night. Enjoy crafts with an ice-cold drink by your side. Read a book with a tasty treat at your fingertips. There's not a bad seat in the house. It's perfect while using your laptop. Or fill it with juice boxes and crackers for the kids. Even enjoy a nightcap while watching the late news. Couch Coaster has 2 extra secure cup holders for bottles, cans, or glasses. A supersized snack bowl big enough for an entire bag of popcorn. And a convenient cubby for your remote and phone. Carry everything from the kitchen in just one trip. Avoid spills on your furniture, on the floor, even your coffee table. You can't knock over drinks on the Couch Coaster. Now you can enjoy chicken wings and sodas on the ottoman. It even keeps the little ones happy on road trips or playing video games. No more cold hands or straining for your drink. Get a Couch Coaster and sit, snack, and relax. Carrying trays sell for up to $40. But call now and you'll get the ultimate snacking station for only $10. The sturdy dishwasher-safe Couch Coaster is a snap to clean. As an added bonus, you also get 2 tumblers. At $10 value, yours free. Yes, you get the super versatile Couch Coaster and tumblers, a $50 value, all for only $10. But if you call right now, we'll double your entire order free. Just pay separate shipping and handling. That's 2 Couch Coasters and 4 tumblers, a $100 value for only $10. Call now.
Call 1-800-610-3751 to get your super versatile Couch Coaster today. Call now and we'll double your offer free. Just pay separate shipping and handling. That's a $100 value for only $10. Sit, snack, and relax with your Couch Coaster. Call 1-800-610-3751 now.
Loyola started her career at Albany, and now T doing big things for Syracuse, transferring to where some of her old high school teammates, Allie Quillinan and the former Syracuse star Katie Rowan, were playing. And in this game, Notre Dame's giveaways have allowed the Orange to capitalize.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to give credit to the Syracuse defense, but a lot of these are just unforced errors, overthrown passes for the Irish. And these players are so talented. They just need, just calm down, take a deep breath. There's a lot on the line, automatic bid for the winner of that Big East championship. But, they played good lacrosse all season long. They're only down 3 goals. No reason to panic. Just take the extra second.
Tracy Corn has been in a lot of big games throughout her career. Coached in the Division III ranks at Denison and at Roanoke. Also head coach for the Canadian national team in the World Cup a few years ago. And has her team squarely in the hunt for an NCAA bid again this year.
4 straight draw controls to Syracuse, and this is how you get possession. It's one of the most, the key statistic of the game can often be the draw control. Who's winning those balls in the center circle? And really, you've seen these balls are going just to a place on the grass, and you just have to have lots of bodies there. So they got to work. The Irish need to start working around, moving different players around the circle, just, trying to get an edge. Even if, it comes into the Syracuse stick, they need to make sure that they double team those balls, try to come up with a turnover.
Yeah, the Orange double, or more than double, the possessions to this point. 9 possessions to 4 for Notre Dame as far as setting up in the offensive end. And the shot difference, huge. Syracuse in shots on goal, 7-1. For the Irish, no goals, only 1 shot. That's not going to cut. Brown trying to work off the pick from Dove. And she'll roam behind.
Very spread out on attack. Syracuse really pulling the defense out.
A little shake from Tumalo, back out front. Brown trying to make the backhanded catch. Able to recover, grab it, but fouled by Doran. Dove muscling her way in, lost it, but it hopped right to a T-bit. That's Tumalo. And a second chance for Syracuse as they extend the possession.
Very patient for Syracuse, working the ball around. Lots of movement off ball. Nobody's standing and watching.
Quillinen gives it up behind. Ladasor, Tumala came towards the crease. We saw her with that slick move to score the first goal of this game. Now behind Ladasor. Could we have a reversal of fortune from the regular season meeting between these teams when Notre Dame shut out Syracuse in the first half? Right now, the Orange whitewashing Notre Dame to this point. Quillinen with a lefty rocket, but wide.
They'll back it up, get another opportunity. You know, again, just working this ball around. This is going to end up frustrating the Notre Dame defense. Being very patient. They're looking at the scoreboard. They know they're down 3. They want that ball back in their attacking end.
Brown into the 8, and she gets crunched. That'll be a free position look.
The Simpson foul was right outside the 8-meter. Actually, they're going to put her on the 8-meter, so they'll clear the entire 8-meter arc. Watch that defense, yeah, completely into the body.
And she passed it off to Dove. Notre Dame doing a great job swarming D, double-teaming Dove, and Syracuse forced to pull it out and set things up again. But with this 3-goal cushion, they're quite content to do that and get a good look. Dove. Almost looked like a little bit of a pick and roll there with Brown, but Dove held on, and now they come near side Ladasor. Shooting space called.
And that's a great way to get shooting space by moving that ball around quickly. You can catch a defender off guard.
Here's Ladasor from the angle. She'll pass in front. Great feed in the finish. Jackie DePetris took the perfect pass from Ladasor and buried it. 4-0 Orange.
Syracuse goal scored by number 55.
You know, T. Ladasor has been so impressive. Doesn't have the shot. Very smart move. Don't turn it over by shooting it. And just finds DePetris, captain, right on the crease. You know, excellent pass. Hard for Hilling. You actually see Hilling there. He's completely a step behind. She didn't even see the ball go out of T's stick. And then DePetris has a wide open look on Cage.
DePetris continuing to add to her career high in goals. Now 24 scores on the season, and a smile there. She heads to the bench for a breather. 4-goal cushion right now for Gary Gate in Syracuse. And they look like he does on the sideline right now. They're very calm, very efficient in getting things done on this offensive end. You impressed? I'm
very impressed, you know, especially after, you know, coming off the Georgetown game, which was such a hard battle. You know, I know they're anxious to get back on the field and play, but, you know, they came out extremely composed. Their offense looks very good. They were seeing a lot of different looks. Saw another stick check on the field. The referees had to do 2 random stick checks per half.
We saw Gate making a late substitution, sending another defensive player out there, and Jill Cammett, and pulling off Tumalo for the time being. The Orange really trying to win the draw control battle, and they've been dominant to this point. They've won all 4 so far. And first win, so to speak, for Notre Dame as they'll pick it up off the foul. Jenny Granger, a freshman out of Ward Melville High School in New York, has it for the Irish. Tomasitis sends it in. And if you're Notre Dame right now, Sheehan, what are you doing to get on track offensively?
You know, one, you just need to take a breath. Take a deep breath. Work the ball around, get everyone a touch, you know, and just not force it. Make the smart pass. Just keep it simple. You know, they've had quite a few turnovers. Syracuse just took a very long possession, ended up scoring on it. So just work it around, get in people's sticks, and just don't rush it. You know, and things will come. So, you know, you got to give your playmakers hands.
6 turnovers for Notre Dame, just 1 shot to this point. And trying to end this string of being shut out here in this Big East semifinal. Sosha. Janelle Steglin there defensively for Syracuse.
What a look.
Right in front, what a feed. And the put away there for the Irish. That was sweet. Megan Sullivan capping the play, and the Irish finally on the board.
No forcing there. That was the perfect play for Sosha. Just took her time, very composed. Doesn't have the 1v1 attack, which is fine. Sullivan there. Beautiful cut, excellent feed, great vision, and she's not covered. This is a perfect play. There's, the defender is 2-3 steps off of her, so you're not forcing it to the inside. A lot of times when players get very anxious, they want to get the goal, they just force it in the middle and cause a turnover. That was a very smart play.
Sullivan now 14 goals in the campaign, sophomore from Winchester, Massachusetts. And the Irish controlled off that last draw. It led to a goal, and they win another here. And head back down to try to shorten up this Syracuse advantage. Coming to the near side. And Tumalo collects it, able to tiptoe inbounds along the sideline. How about the flip to herself?
The sideline cheering for her. That was very impressive.
Crafty move by the freshman. And the Orange have it again. At the pass to the middle, too tall, taken away by Notre Dame. Outlet for Blaney. Apt. Lead, feed inside, shot to score. Here come the Irish. It's Sosha.
Sosha, the senior leader, just gets things going. Had that first assist again on the board, and then just, gets an excellent grab here, backhanded catch, lots of composure, and then that's a highlight reel type of goal. Picture perfect right in that top left corner. Hogan right on top of the crease there, but Sosha's able to beat her.
Hardest part of that play for Sosha, seemed to be the catch, and she made it look easy. Could have been a ball to handcuff her, but she got it done. 4 goals as a freshman, 20 goals as a sophomore, 53 goals and 43 assists as a junior. And she's continuing to pile up the points now in her final campaign. First player with 100 goals and 100 assists in her career, and the all-time assist leader for Notre Dame. That's saying something considering the great scores they've had in recent years. Christy Foote, Jillian Byers, Caitlin McKinney, and Sosha, the first one with 100 in the top 2 categories.
It's just such an impressive, mark for her to get. And you saw Shea Blaney with that draw control. So their leaders, the Notre Dame leaders, are now, they're taking control of this game.
2 goals in 36 seconds for the Irish.
And we'll see an offsides violation on Syracuse.
After not scoring for 21 plus minutes, they get 2 in less than 60 seconds and make it 3 in short succession. That's Sosha going back to back. The Irish have life. Sosha sparking the Irish with a couple of goals, and Notre Dame like that. Perfect.
Don't you love that as a coach when something you've been working on and you finally can see the rewards in a game? The shot goes wide. And Thomas-Titus, who likes to feed from behind, she's been an excellent feeder this year, great assister. And then Sosha, again, scores right on the doorstep. She's just finding her stick open. Great finisher. And she's hot tonight. You want to get her the ball. When somebody's shooting this well, early on, get on the ball, keep feeding it to them.
3rd consecutive goal for Sosha for Notre Dame. Now 37 on the year. She had a 5-point game against Syracuse in the Big East semifinal last year. And she's got 4 points already here in this first half. Another draw win for the Irish. Apt. Now check it. That's Jenny Granger who's got it. Blaney in the mix. Shot and a score.
Blaney's such a talented midfielder. You know, she was a great recruit when she came to Notre Dame her freshman year. Has just excelled both ends of the field. You look at the stat categories, and she comes up with draw controls, calls turnovers, ground balls, and then 37 goals this season. She really does it all. Just excellent 1v1, strong moves to goal. You know, when they need a goal, oftentimes Notre Dame will look for her to get the goal and score, because when she goes hard, she is going to take that ball to goal and score.
Granger credited with the assist, and Blaney puts it away.
You know, today Hogan has been seeing a lot of high shots from Notre Dame today, and they have been very successful, working very well for Notre Dame. And you have to wonder, is maybe the lights causing some difference for her? You know, she's plays in the dome most times. These night games are, pretty rare in women's lacrosse. And as a goalie, when you're in a different setting, seeing the ball is so important. It's key, but she may have a hard time seeing the ball.
Well, Notre Dame has scored in all 5 of its last shots, and they've all been high-quality shots because all 5 of those goals have been assisted. And Notre Dame has really got the offense cooking down, and the Orange is surely they expected in a fight. These two teams, there's too much offensive talent on the field for them to be held scoreless too often in times. And they've already almost equaled the goal total for their entire regular season meeting when Notre Dame won 6-5. Brown. Dove there with the screen, and that'll come back to Christina near side.
She loves to attack from up top. She's so shifty.
Delayed call coming against Notre Dame.
We'll go back into Dove's stick. She was fouled. She was going to goal, so that oftentimes the refs will raise that yellow flag and let the attacker go to goal if she has advantage. And if not, then they'll start to blow the whistle.
Low shot. And buried by Dove.
Syracuse goal scored by number 12, Christina Dove.
And actually, I believe they're calling a stick check. So when a ref calls a stick check, it's good. Oh, no goal.
Wow, they wave it off.
Okay, now what the referee was saying there, they said that Dove pulled the string. So what the ref will say is, number 12, drop your stick. And if you touch your stick after she says that and pull it, it's automatically illegal, even if the stick actually isn't illegal. So you're supposed to just drop your stick immediately. So she's going to have to remove that stick from the game.
Okay, so the official, you saw that signal saying that she tightened it after the check, and that there's a way for her to kind of play with it a little bit.
Well, you're not, once the referee calls for a stick check, you have to drop it. You're not allowed to touch the string. So apparently she said she touched the strings, so the goal does not count. But the stick is now legal, is legal. So, the ruling is if you touch the strings, it's automatically illegal. So that's the reason the goal got called back.
So wave it off for Dove. We remain tied up at 5. And Kate Newell battling forward at the edge.
Now, it is unusual because if the stick actually was illegal, then it needs to be removed from the game. But I'm sensing the refs are maybe discussing this now. If the stick actually wasn't illegal, but it's just the goal was called off because she touched the strings, then I don't know what you do with the stick, and that must be what they're discussing.
And you can hear them having a little bit of a conversation right now.
Correct.
Jody Michno, the table umpire, has been summoned as well. And they talk a little bit here.
Yep.
You like to pull the string.
No,
Are you not? If there's no stick check to ask, you always fix your stick to make sure it's good when you roll it out.
stick, yes. She pulled the strings. Automatically makes the stick illegal.
But it doesn't have to come out.
No, because when she pulled it, it became legal.
The stick wasn't illegal. That's all.
Yeah, so I guess what they're saying is what I thought. So she pulled the strings, which you're not allowed to do when they ask for a stick check. So the goal automatically doesn't count. But the stick was legal, so they're saying the stick stays in the game. So what the coaches didn't understand, because normally if the goal doesn't count, that meant the stick was illegal, so it should be removed from the game. But that actually wasn't the case.
So the stick was legal the entire time. Just she told her, don't touch the stick before the stick check. And once she did that, it automatically invalidated the goal.